Perhaps you've seen it, maybe in a dream, a murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything once branded, the symbol of the curse, an augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drang Lake. Perhaps you're familiar. No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Like a moth drawn to a flame, your wings will burn in anguish, time after time. For that is your fate, the fate of the cursed.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. So, yeah, I kinda felt like playing this game, and I sort of intend to make this a sort of whenever I feel like it thing. I'll just play, like I'll play and record it whenever I feel like it. The other videos I do will continue to be a regular weekly deal. So don't expect this to be regular occurrence. It could be like, it could happen multiple times a week. There might be a week where it doesn't happen at all. You know, whatever. Anyway, yeah. Opening video was pretty loud, but I think the rest of the game should actually be fairly quiet. In fact, I wanted to bump up the volume for voices. That should do. And while I'm messing with settings, this is a setting I have to turn on and off, seemingly every time I make a character. Yes. I guess we'll figure out if it's working the way I want it to or not. Pretty gorgeous game. This, I've played this game once before. Never actually finished it, and, my longest run was honestly a pretty hot mess. So there's like, be kind of familiar with it, but there's also going to be a bunch of stuff that's new to me. Hoping this will be kind of a complete playthrough, and at the very least, I'm hoping to actually beat the game. It will certainly be my first time doing so. Kind of getting a feel for the sounds. Do love running through the grass.
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face.
Rude.
The face of the curse.
It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name?
Alright, my name is, not starting with an E. I'm actually going into this with a particular theme in mind. Inspiration, from Final Fantasy, specifically 14.
At least you know your own name. Here's your reward. for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look.
Who do you think it's supposed to be?
Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you.
Alright, character creation. Alright, so before we actually get to putting my character together, let's decide on the class and the starting gift right away. I will be playing as a cleric. Well, starting as a cleric. Ultimately just because, instead of like it being something that's personal to me, I'm only doing this because the cleric has the highest starting soul level. That's going to make the build I want to achieve cheaper to... it'll be cheaper in the long run. For the gift... Petrified something. Alright, and with that out of the way... One moment! Alright. Character has been finalized. It's time to get moving.
All people come here for the same reason. To break the curse.
You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Well, you never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom.
But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You'll lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
That was the second of 2 close-ups I didn't need. Alright. Whoa. I am in always sprint mode for some reason. That's a bit annoying. Let's see here. I think I came in this way? Yeah, okay. So this is the way out. Right, so... I mentioned earlier, I picked Cleric simply because Cleric has the highest starting soul level in the game, making it cheaper in the long run to achieve the build I want. The build theme going for, the build I want to build towards, I intend to mimic, like, I intend to sort of mimic the Dark Knight class, Dark Knight job presented in Final Fantasy XIV. So, I basically plan on going a sort of hybrid melee hexer. Hex being a type of spell that it's dark in this game. It's very different from how dark was in the first game. I'll get into that later. First of all, let's see if I can fix this always sprint thing. That's not what I wanted at all. Although, since I'm here... Yes, there we go. That fixes that. And let's put on some more clothes. Okay, so I feel like this is responsible somehow. Ah, there we go. I think that actually was responsible. Wait. Oh, okay. I must have stopped running because I ran out of stamina. Dang it. Always blocking now. So I'm always sprinting and always blocking, and I don't know why. It's extremely annoying. Because I'm only blocking when I'm two-handing this thing. I guess I'll deal with it for now. I think it has something to do with when I name my character. Because it seems that whenever I pass this point with a new character, something like this happens. Alright, well, time to move on then. Have to... hang on a second. I feel like there might have been another item. No, it doesn't look like it. I forgot what I picked up. Dang it. Okay. Oh, was it a torch I picked up? It was. Excellent. Is that a light? Let's just set all of these alight. And let's actually go backwards for a bit. And okay. I believe that will preserve the torch for a bit. Ah, dark room. And I guess it's kind of important that I do that anyway, because like, with the current stats that I have, I can only properly wield this thing when holding it with both hands. Dang it. I was hoping I could roll away from that in time. Right, let's see. Light up. Aw. Oh. Got the backstab anyway. A little too late. I wonder if there's even really a point to lighting all these up. As far as I'm aware, like, they are permanently lit, but I don't know if it's actually necessary. Right. Unless I'm two-handing the mace, constantly blocking, which is constantly slowing down the recharge of my stamina. I guess I'm like always blocking with the torch or something? It seems like that's holding the lit torch is also slowing down my stamina. Dang it! No! Dang it! I cannot roll away as quickly as I used to. Okay, I feel like one of those hits I took didn't actually deal any damage. However, speaking of damage, let's use that thing I just got. Life Gem. New consumable item for healing. Here we are. Alright. Okay. So it looks like I actually want to do a drop. Drop when I'm always running. This will be fun. There we go. Ah, that was a kickdown ladder. Oh well, I don't think I have a reason to actually go back up. I'll Eep. I'll deal with that later. In fact, speaking of later, I think I'll just come back here later. In a while, kinda wanna see the outside. Back, actually probably next session, really. I can move normally. Jula! Holy moly, this place is bright. Fun fact, this is one of many games that asks you to adjust brightness until you can barely see one of the images. Well, I don't know what it's like on video, but let's see. Guess it's not here. Ah, here we go. Screen options. So, I don't know what it's like on video, but for me personally, like, the brightness is bottomed out and I can still barely see the other image, which is of a dragon sticking its tongue out at the bonfire. And this place is still rather bright. I'm loving the music. Kind of has a sad tranquility to it.
Are you the next monarch? Or merely a pawn of fate? Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey.
Estes Flask!
Go on and see the king. He who made Drangleic what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
You may level up by the power of the Emerald Herald.
Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls. You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid.
Alright.
Seek those whose names are unutterable. The four endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons. Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away. Bearer of the curse, seek souls, larger, more powerful souls. Seek the king. That is the only way. Lest this land swallow you whole, as it has so many others.
I feel like you told me to do that in like 3 different ways now, and it took that many times to get access to this menu. Alright. Level up. Yeah, the downside to having the highest possible starting soul level is that my next soul level does cost a bit. Alright. So, as I mentioned earlier, I'm basically going into a kind of hex build, a mixed melee hex. Hex being another word for dark, essentially. It's really a type of spell that involves dark. And in this game, dark scales with both intelligence and faith. Fire does as well, but I believe the way they scale is different. In the case of fire, I think it's like the combination of the two. In the case of dark, its strength is based on which of the two stats is the lowest. So, I have 4 intelligence and 12 faith. Essentially, my dark damage and whatnot, is coming entirely from my intelligence, and none of my faith. But as soon as my intelligence were to exceed my faith, then it would stop at 12. That is fun. It doesn't really matter all that much, because, like, at the end of the day, all hexes in the game kind of have requirements of both intelligence and faith, so a proper hexcaster wants to work on both. regardless of how dark actually scales. So, let me face you properly.
Who are you? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. But now somebody's gone and locked the door.
That's unfortunate. Yep, it's locked. There is a guy, somewhere near those steps, but I kinda don't want to talk to him because I know for a fact that he leads one of the 2 covenants that are home in this area. And I don't want to join that covenant. Stupid glitch with the controls. I really wish I could just make it go away without actually restarting the game. As far as I'm aware, it pretty much resolves itself that way, but unless I can find out how to do it mid-session, every new character I make is going to have this problem during their first session. Homeward Bone! And speaking of covenants earlier, this is where the other covenant sits. I just talk to this thing if I want, and I join the covenant that basically puts the game in hard mode. I can't be summoned, I can't summon any phantoms or shades, new thing introduced in this game. And all the enemies are harder. I believe they do more damage and they have more armor, but their health stays the same? Benefits, though, are pretty neat. If you want to punch things good, the end reward for that covenant is a ring that lets you punch real good. And while wearing it, like, it not only gives you a good bunch of base damage for unarmed combat, but that damage also scales really well with strength and dexterity. If you're like a pure melee build, it's definitely worth checking out. Another thing about it, though, is this game, one of the other many changes this game has made in the series that I don't think stuck for the next game, is that it's actually possible to depopulate zones. Like, every enemy in the game has a limited number of respawns, and if you kill them that many times, then they just stop showing up. There is a way to get them to start showing up again, but it involves raising the difficulty of the area that they spawn in, essentially making the local area as difficult as the next playthrough. But the covenant that you join at the covenant led by that stone monument actually prevents this depopulation effect. That is the slowest door I've ever seen. I guess I don't really want to take any risks. Given my current movement dilemma. always wary of this chest. Here we go. Oh, actually, speaking of, I'm pretty certain chests in this game are actually destructible. Or at least wooden chests are. So you'll... Like, what I did there was a risk, hitting it two-handed. At least I think so. That's something I need to do research on, I guess. Or someone in comments can tell me if I'm wrong. But, yeah, don't, hit him too much, or you might lose the item that's inside. Okay. Very careful, align myself. There we go. Dang it. Alright. See, hello. Oh, whiff. Whiff. Dang it, no, stop. Only I could control my stamina loss. I guess I could kind of control it a little better. I'm not blocking when I one-hand, so stamina will regenerate quickly. And I don't really have a reason to bring out my torch now. Yeah, alright. With that, gonna call it for this session. Hope y'all enjoy. I hope I enjoy. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone.